Here.
Not really.
Okay.
Let's go back. Oh, that's a goblin.
All right, and we are
That's a
live.
goblin.
Okay, and mic is working this time.
Getting a lot of feedback. I think that's probably just on the phone, the fan.
Turn that a little bit just in case, but I think it just might have been the fact that we had this turned up to like max next to the microphone to make sure we got it this time.
Wow. All right, ready?
Ready. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nadia and David Ruin Video Games. And this week, Nadia is in the driver's seat as we are checking out one of the six, is it?
Yeah.
New Final Fantasy Pixel remasters for the Nintendo Switch. This one, Final Fantasy IV. Was this one of your favorites?
It's a pretty solid favorite of mine. I can.
And I know you like 6 a lot.
Yeah, but this one I just figured it'd be good. Just kind of get as far as I can because the story's so slim that it's like easier to blast through.
You know what? I can't believe I even asked the question because like I've seen you buy this game so many times,
Yeah.
including that one with the port of the cell phone game. The After Years. So,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, why am I even asking this stupid question? Maybe not a stupid question in general, stupid question coming from me, because I should know better. Incidentally, speaking of which, I just wanted to throw a quick shout out like on that After Years port. I think it's really cool that they did that for one of their mobile games. I hope Capcom was paying attention because, hey, Five Island Adventure, Mega Man Legends, let's
Oh.
see it.
They'll
But-
never. I mean, you've heard my Retronauts episode, or it's a rough business, but yeah, it'd be hard to do.
I mean, I'm hopeful. I mean, it looks like they mostly reused assets anyway. I'm sure they could do something. But
Anyway, let's get started.
yeah, getting a little off topic here. So,
Aw, airship.
hi Lance.
Hi, Lance.
Says King though, literally the genesis for my nickname.
Oh, really? There you are. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Kane fangirl. So we're starting here. Very classic. You can't hear it that well, like obviously on the stream, but there's like a class. The Red Wings theme is classic.
They might be able to hear it better than we can, but
So we are on an airship.
Lance says I wasn't in and the rest Mega Man collection with Legends, Star Force, and he once. And the other side games. I think Star Force and Legends deserve their own collections, and I think there's enough like ancillary Mega Man games to warrant its own thing.
Okay, so we gotta this is a story. So we're going to, we just came back from a raid on Nadia, and we just killed a lot of innocent people to get a crystal. And we'll see that in a flashback here, because Cecil couldn't say no. Cecil's the Dark Knight main character of the game.
Sorry, a raid on what?
Nadia, it's a town.
Oh, okay.
A
Sorry,
town of mages.
I thought you said Dissidia, and I'm like, wait, that sounds familiar.
I'm gonna be surprised if that's where they got it. Who knows?
I forget which one Dissidia is.
It's a fighting game. It's actually not bad. There's 2 of them, 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, the PSP ones, yeah.
Yeah. So in the original release for the SNES, they had kind of a narrative going on here saying what you're doing is bad, because they kind of added in some stuff to make it a little more digestible for Westerners
Okay.
to varying degrees of success.
And people in the West are just like, no, seems like a normal thing to do. Go in, take their stuff.
And Cecil's like, no, we must raid and get the crystals because the mages, if they possess a crystal, they might overthrow us. It's too bad, too much. We are sworn to obey the king, and the king is totally not at all corrupt. He's totally right, and it's pure as the driven snow. Oh shit, here come monsters.
Okay, so I don't know. Is this a good time to ask a non-story? Okay, that was neat. Is this a good time to ask a non-story question?
Yeah, sure.
As someone who is not intimately familiar with previous versions of the game, looking at this, the Pixel remaster, what's the difference? Is there anything appreciable from a non-total Final Fantasy 1 to 6 lover that they're gonna get out of these? That fall away little voxel effect there is a neat thing. But what do the remasters bring? Is what I'm asking.
Basically brings all the classic games to one place. There's a remastered soundtrack. There's options like, forward, like more experience, more gil. So it makes things easier. It makes the game a lot easier to play if you want that. Although this is still like not as good as the PSP game, which is just excellent. The Final Fantasy IV Complete Collection. But as far as accessibility, like this is as good as it gets.
So the PSP game,
Omen?
was that like done in pixels? Because I remember there was like a 3D remake that I think it was on. Was it the DS or the 3DS?
The 3D remake was on the 3DS. The remake I'm talking about was on the PSP, which did use pixels, just really like high resolution, really nice pixels.
I see.
These are like more a tribute to the old style pixels on the SNES, which is not bad, but I still prefer the PSP look. Some people prefer this look, so who knows?
It's too bad you can't toggle there, but...
That would be a hell of a thing.
So, like, did they remaster the pixel art here, or...
Yeah, they remastered the pixels.
I wasn't sure if it was that, or if, like, say, it was it's a remaster, but it's pixelated, so, like, people don't go in expecting, like, like the 3DS game or whatever.
So Cecil just told this guy, Bagan, I think his name is, like, Bagan's like, oh, do you get the crystal? And Cecil's like, yeah, we got the crystal. We heard a bunch of people. And Bagan's like, oh, so you're sympathetic. Let's wait over here, and I'm just going to talk to the king for a second.
I'm going to go get my manager.
This is going to be fine. I need to talk to the totally real and not corrupt king.
Hey, Drew RWX, who says, I want a Mystic Quest pixel remaster.
Huh.
I'll let you address that one.
Oh, I wouldn't mind at all. It was not a perfect game by any means, but I'd play it again, or at least try to play it again. Great soundtrack. Glad they at least acknowledged that on Theater Rhythm.
Lance says, they added quality of life, especially the console versions that have boosts to money and EXP gain.
Yeah. Beautiful to behold. You are dismissed, Cecil. King's like, I don't care if he's like corrupt or not, just as long as he's doing what I say. And Cecil can't keep his mouth shut. See, he's a Dark Knight. He's got the Dark Knight armor. That kind of becomes a big thing to address later.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I think I did name him Batman when I was a kid.
Awesome.
And now Cecil's like, why are you guys in crystals? My men are really pissed off about this whole thing. You question my command? No, I'm only... This whole scene is hilarious on the SNES. They didn't really translate it properly, so...
Was that a Woolsey translation, or...?
No, but it was actually the game that made them finally decide, you know what, we should probably get someone professional in here.
Named him Batman, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little on the nose, don't you think?
Yeah. That's nothing. I named Kane Zero, and you'll see why in a second.
I mean, I'd have gone with Bruce, but...
So he's been kicked out of the Red Wings, and Cecil's like, no. And now he has another duty. Slay the phantom beast that plagues Mist Valley and deliver this bomb ring to the village of Mist. It'll be great. Leave tomorrow at first light. You can tell me what to do. You're not my mom. See, here's Kane. I named him Zero. Kane is a dragoon.
I thought his armor was going to be red or something.
That'd be awesome, actually. I have done Glam in Final Fantasy XIV where I take Dragoon armor and make it, like, red, but I don't know, something about Dragoon Blue is classic. There's actually, there is a color in FF14 of dye called Dragoon Blue, which is exactly Kane's color right there.
Wow.
So I use that for my armor usually. Your Majesty! So he's taking a bomb to a village, and it's gonna be great.
I feel like if it was in red, he'd probably look more like Zero EXE than Zero, but...
Yeah. So ask me any question about Kane, I probably know.
It's true, she probably does.
Okay, so I'm going to just turn on a couple of things on the...
Yeah, you kind of based your whole persona in Final Fantasy XIV off of him, didn't you?
One of them, like, I have different jobs, and I, like, dress the characters accordingly.
Right.
What are the options? Oh, right. So I'm going to just put this bugger up here. Configuration.
Through hellfire and brimstone, it's Kane!
I'm not really going to bother with any boosts now, because I don't think I get far enough that, like, levels are going to be a problem. So I'm going to go with the arrangement. I want to put on auto run.
I think you passed it. I saw, like, a default speed walk.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go?
Yeah.
Why walk when you can run? Did I fix it? Yes, okay. So here I am. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the village of Mist, and if you talk to people in the castle, they're all like, "Oh no, the king sucks. What's going on here?" Like, you can see things are not going well. Here's Cain. Yeah, the king was like, "Hey, become a Dark Knight." Cain's like, "No, fuck you. I'm gonna stay a dragoon like my father."
Like my father before me.
Basically.
I like how his sprite's like a little bit taller than Cecil there.
Yeah. Well, Gift just as good as you, rest assured. I took that screenshot and said someone's ruining my fanfics at Square.
Lance says, it's funny how dragoons are associated with blue when they were brownish/bronze with blue highlights in Final Fantasy III and even Final Fantasy II.
Yeah, Final Fantasy II was the first one they were ever in, and yeah, they it was like kind of a brownish sort of plain costume, as I recall. This was the game that really kind of redid the dragoon class.
Sort of canonized it in a way.
They canonized the look of it for
Codified.
sure.
Yeah.
Codified, that's the word. The king is brimming with vigor these days. I find it somewhat out of character. That's actually really funny.
Old Blue 606 has entered the chat. Good evening, fellow game likers. Good evening.
Hello. One thing, there's actually just one funny thing I want to show you here. So the white mages I just talked to, this is the black mage.
I don't know if y'all hear him, but Tango says hi. I always thought like black mages and whiz robes in the original Legend of Zelda, for that matter, looked kind of like Orko, which just makes you wonder.
I just like how this guy tried to cast a sleep spell and failed.
Yeah.
Well, heck, what did I draw? I like...
I wish he'd like fallen asleep himself.
Most black mages always have that kind of element of assholishness about them, I guess because they are offensive magic users.
I guess that explains the 8-bit theater portrayal.
Very likely. I can't... Oh, yeah, right. He was, like, very smart, wasn't he? Like, the black mage there. He was, like, the mastermind of everything, practically.
He was like the schemer.
So here's Rosa.
I don't know that he was necessarily so smart, but he at least thought he was.
I don't know if we're going to be, like, get far enough to put Rosa in my party. We're fine. I wish I could say the same for the Mysidians we slaughtered. Sounds like a little sarcastic. Come see you later.
And Lent says, hi, Tango. With a little, I think that's a waving cat. With the googly eyes.
Now here's Sid, and this is something very funny is about to pop up. A very old piece of internet history. So this is Sid, you like the grandfather.
Is he going to say?
Say what?
Is this the one that has... No, that was a Woolsey line, so that wouldn't be it. Okay, you're going to have to probably explain to me.
It's this one. How are my airships? I bet your goons wrecked them up something awful. Someone who was a, what do they call themselves? Not a gooner. A goon. Someone who was a goon was actually on this localization team. And this became infamous because people spotted it.
Something awful, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thought this was going to be the Spoony Bard thing, and then I'm like, wait,
no. That's like... I don't know if I can reach that.
Oh, is it this game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that was a Woolsey thing.
No. Nobody knows what the hell was going on with that line.
Oh, okay. My bad.
What about the Red Wings? What about the Red Wings?
Isn't the Red Wings like a hockey team?
Detroit, yeah. So that didn't slip my nose when I was a kid.
I'm not even into hockey, and I'm just like, okay, Red Wings sounds really familiar.
Cecil's just like, I'm going to bed. She's like, I changed your sheets. That's nice. Thank you for that.
Speaking of which, I think Tango appreciated the callback from Lance there.
He went to bed with his armor on.
Don't you?
It looked even weirder in the 3D version.
Well, it was like sharp, pointy bits clipping through the blanket or something.
No, he just wasn't under the blanket. That would have been way too much.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there with his feet on the bed. Like, ah, shit. So yeah, the king raised Cecil for reasons that you get into much later in the game, but he is a orphan. Fun fact that kind of gets cut out of a lot, like basically, I learned this from supplemental Japanese material. Like, Cecil and Rosa are boyfriend and girlfriend. It's kind of established early on. But you'll find out in a second that, like, they can't be together. And that was something that was kind of cut a lot in the American version, I think, or just, like, maybe in general. And the reason why is because...
He's an angst lord?
He's what now?
An angst lord?
Well, there is that, too. But they don't know his heritage. And Rosa's a noble, so she's not supposed to, like, coerce with, well, you know, it's the whole royal thing. You're not supposed to coerce with someone who's...
Commoners.
Yeah, bastards, even worse. Which they don't know what Cecil is at this point. He doesn't know what he is. He's just, you know, he was an orphan who was raised by the king, and the king's being evil.
Yeah, I guess I was going to say, I would think the king could say, like, well, you know what, I raised him, so he's like one of us now or something, but guess he ain't going to do that. Too bad. I mean, he's got her coming up in her bedroom, in his bedroom at night.
Yeah, she just kind of, like, slips up there, and we can never truly be together.
Oh, that's the reason. Drew RWX asks, didn't a young Bob Mackey crawl out of the SA primordial stew?
Yes, he does have, he has some great articles there. I'm not going to point them out because they're not exactly, like, you know, sensitive or anything like that. You know, people write things that don't age well, but it's still pretty good.
Still kind of blows me away how much, like, things have changed over just the last 20 years.
Yeah, stuff changes. And so the
yeah,
Dark
sure.
Knight Cecil was stripped. Woo!
Just always felt like it took longer, at least when we were kids.
Of his command of the guy. So this is a text scroll with the Crystal song is called. You can't really skip it or maybe speed it up.
Da, 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 da.
You got it totally wrong.
What was that one?
I don't even know.
Oh.
The advent of the airship. Something that got retconned was that Sid invented the airship, but they kind of retconned that to say Cecil's father invented the airship. Royal Air Force. RAF.
So just while this is going on, it's like, yeah, airship seems to be like kind of a pretty common thing across a lot of Japanese media. I kind of like how the Mario 3 cartoon actually gave it a name, though. They called it like a Doom Ship.
Oh, the Doom Ship, yeah.
And then it's like Nintendo decided to totally ignore that, and it's just, oh, Bowser's and his Koopaling's airships, and it's like, man, that's kind of dull by comparison, isn't it?
Sorry.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. The crystals merely shed their light into silence. Now it's time to kick some asses. I do love how the Crystal song's been in every single Final Fantasy game. Different iterations. It's like as common as the classic theme.
It's as common as Blue in a Mega Man game.
Alright, we're off to the races. Here's a town. The usual town. Like, you don't really need to buy a lot of things early in the game. Like, you're basically can, like, whip everyone's ass at this stage. But it's the usual thing if people are talking, oh shit, you know, why is the king telling people to do the dark sword? I don't know what the timeline is. Like, or when the king started to go bad or any of it. It's very up in the air. Leave the village alone or something bad will happen. I know it. No, it's going to be great.
I like how that one was talking about...
Zero.
like, Master of the Dark Sword, and I'm thinking to myself, ooh, Dark Master Sword, that'd be neat. Then I remember they actually had one, and so... Yeah.
Alright, let's kick some asses.
That train of thought had only 2 stops. Let's see. Drew RWX says, oh, I see where this is going. Final Fantasy Mancy. I don't understand the reference. Is that a reference?
Probably. I'm kind of mush-brained because I just woke up from a nap that did not last long enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna know what that's like.
We are on our way to Mist.
Oh, hey, was diagonal walking in the original?
No, I think this is, it was added.
Oh, cool.
Fun fact, so this cave, like, area, when people first started to emulate games, they'd walk into this area and couldn't see shit because the transparency hadn't been perfected yet in emulators. So you'd have to disable like the cloud effect to go on, which included just basically disabling the layer, which was funny as hell.
Drew says, the Archer airship episode. Oh, I remember that one now.
Oh, right, it was Mancy.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So we are walking.
Can't you see we're walking?
I don't think this cave has many secrets. Flying eyes.
This Cave of Secrets doesn't have many secrets.
There's very little meat in these gym mats.
That's precisely where I was going to go next.
Oh, one thing that Kane can do is jump. But I guess we'll just show that off when the boss fight comes.
Let's see. Lance says diagonal movement was added for the first time in this version IIRC.
Yeah.
And Drew says couldn't see anything in 1999. Chrono Trigger back in the day too.
Tango, get down. Thank you. We're on our way to Mist. Now we're getting a voice. Turn back. Who's there? Did I miss that treasure chest? Yes, I did. Yeah, fuck it.
They don't like show treasure chests have been opened?
I mean, they do. I just missed it.
Oh, okay. Then what question would there be then?
I don't know.
So I'm curious, do you think, like, it's better, like, the backgrounds here are the way they are, or should it be, like, what they're doing in, like, those other games now, where it's, like, the pixel art's, like, about the same, but the backgrounds are more, enhanced? That's what they're doing now with, like, some of those other games, right?
Well, with Suikoden, yes.
I thought, like, Live Alive, or,
Live Alive. That's like something else
Live
entirely,
Alive.
practically. The 2D, 3D treatment is that we talking about?
Yeah, I think so, and, I thought there was something else that was using it, too, but...
Suikoden is doing that, but Suikoden's original, like, its sprites are... Okay, so I have to go this way. Its sprites are already, like, absolutely perfect, so there's really no reason to mess with them. They're actually legendarily good. Whereas these are, like... This is an older SNES game, People are less angry if you tool around with it a bit more.
Okay, but it still begs the question, do you think the backgrounds should have,
Should have been...
Like
I think it's
enhanced,
fine the
or-
way it is. Actually, these backgrounds remind me of the PSP version. I don't even know if they're straight copies, but they're in the same wheelhouse.
Wasn't Dragon Quest going to do something like this, too?
Yeah, God knows. No one's heard anything.
I can't remember if it was just like this, or if it was like the other, or I don't know. It's hard to keep
No,
track.
it was like it was a 2D, 3D, like Octopath.
Sometimes I'm amazed how much of this stuff I actually know or almost know, considering. Let's see.
Hold on, boss fight. I feel like, leave at once. Go to hell. And
If I may, Old Blue actually said DQ3 has one coming eventually. And Lance says everything is enhanced in this one. There's way more detail in this version. Now I'm just wondering to myself what like a Mega Man X pixel remaster would be like. I mean, you want to talk about games that just nailed it.
here's our first boss fight with the Mist Dragon. King can jump.
Hey, he hit you.
Well, yeah, he warned me.
Honestly, I thought he was gonna miss. He hasn't missed at all.
Oh, I see. It's a joke. Sorry. It went over my head. But you can't hit the mist while it's, if you hit it, I'll do it just for the entertainment aspect. That happened.
Oh, I see. You miss him.
Attacking the mist is futile. The mist will retaliate if attacked. That was a complete nonsense, the way it was worded in the original.
Oh, how was it? Do you remember?
Like, dragon will attack you with... mist will attack you. I don't remember. It was just not good. It was really hard to tell what you're supposed to do. But you kind of got the gist of it.
Yeah. Old Blue says, I'm greedy. I want it all. I would love a version with HD 2D, and I adore the original art too. And Lance says, we kind of had one with the mobile version of Mega Man X and shudders.
Ew.
I would not call that a pixel remaster, because it was not very pixelated at all.
Fun fact, the Mist Dragon is in Final Fantasy XIV as a boss of the Burn. Which, gorgeous music in that area. and it's a good fight. So
Anyway, Maverick Hunter X is sufficient enough for my liking. Bring that back, maybe touch that up or HD it or something on a console. I mean, come on, it's way overdue already. Powered up as well. About that mobile phone game, I'll say this: at least it was playable. I mean, I actually played through and beat it. I didn't have to buy microtransactions or anything. On a touch-screen game, that seemed like a minor miracle, so I can give it that much at least.
yeah.
But back to Final Fantasy Land.
Oh, Cecil has this thing called Darkness, which is a multi-character attack that,
Involves no parents.
well, it takes away his life force. Not very useful.
Darkness,
Looks cool.
no parents. That's all I really remember.
I don't know if the bosses have been retooled or something, but it feels like they're harder in this version of the game.
Oh, that's interesting, given all the other stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's going on right now?
I'm trying to beat this stupid fucking dragon. Sorry.
I mean, we're not doing the Mega Man thing. You can cuss.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Fuck, shit, fuck.
I mean, you've been doing it the whole time anyway. I
Have
figured
I?
you knew.
No, I haven't even noticed.
Just like, do you like wait for it in real time, or like do you have to like do stuff on turns for like
It's called
re-dragonize or?
the ATB system, baby. This was actually the first game that used it. It was revolutionary, where characters attack when they're ready, and they're ready according to their speed stat, whereas they used to just kind of take turns on older RPGs. The guy who invented basically this was one of the systems that revolutionized everything. The guy who invented it, he just did dungeon encounters, which is, he's always just been like, oh my god, I love systems, and that's exactly what dungeon encounters is. I haven't played it, but it's supposed to be great. And we kill the dragon, yay, we're good guys. Okay, let's go on.
Old Blue says, I'm playing this for the first time, and it took me much too long to realize darkness was taking my health.
Yeah, they actually cut it out of the the first American release of the game, because they were like, I think people just think I'm confused.
Huh.
Which, I mean, you learn. Okay, so here we are in Mist. We're supposed to deliver a package.
I mean, in fairness, if you're a dark freaking knight, you would expect darkness to be your friend.
We have to deliver a package that we totally packed ourselves. And we know exactly what's in our bags, and oh shit, there it goes. Everything on fire.
It's like Crimsic, but fire.
Yeah.
Lance says, bosses are tuned to the original Japanese version of the game instead of the USA version.
Oh, that would explain that. I'm so used to the USA versions. Although PSP seems harder. Anyway, yeah, we destroyed the village. Yay for us.
Old Blue says, Hiroyuki Ito, Square's best kept secret.
Yeah. So here's, we're gonna meet Rydia now.
Oh boy.
The child.
I prefer adult form, but gotta get there somehow.
So by killing her mom's dragon, we killed her mom. Cecil's like, whoops.
You know, I would like to have seen, like, the dragon fighting and, all that stuff before.
So yeah, the king wanted to just basically kill the summoners. Because, just a loose threat, I guess. He felt like killing something. Fun fact, the Callers of Mist are inbred.
Wait, what?
That's another thing that was in, like, one of those supplementary things, but yeah.
It was called, what was called what?
There's a supplementary Final Fantasy IV stuff that I read in Japan, and yeah, I mean, not Rydia specifically, just, it was a problem within the community because the community was so small and insular.
I see. Old Blue also says, oh no, that bomb ring was full of bombs.
Yeah, that tends to happen. So Kane's like, so are you gonna kill this kid or not? And Sister's like, no. And Kane's like, yeah, this is totally test. Like, save it for you. Like, yeah, Kane has a hard-on for Rosa. Who
Tuh.
is, this thing makes things very complicated later.
Lance says summoners were named callers in the original English translation.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I was thinking like Collars, and I just got totally confused.
No. So we're just kind of like dragging Rydia along. How the heck? Cecil's like, "Come on, let's go," being very nice. Then Kenny like, "Let's go." No, go away. And this happens. You can't really attack at this point, but she can.
Huh. Go away!
She just summoned Titan to kick her asses.
Dang.
And doing that, she kind of causes an earthquake. Now, it's really too bad that all this like stuff with this interaction with the summoned monsters doesn't really happen later in the game. This is just a one-off thing. But either way, Kane's gone now. I'm sure he'll be fine. Cecil's alone with,
Does that, like, avalanche ever get cleared or anything? Or?
No. But when you have an airship, you can come back and visit.
Ah, okay.
And there's actually someone who says, there was a big fire, we have no idea how it happened, but it killed everyone, and it's like, ah.
Oh, he wound up on the other side of it somehow.
Yeah. RPG magic, that's how.
Dun 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 dun.
More goblins.
I like how he just puts the girl in his pocket or something.
Yeah, she's totally in his pocket. Like Jake from Adventure Time.
I was thinking more like a Pokemon, but...
Huh. That works too.
Summon the girl to summon the summons, and something happens.
So now we are in... Is this Kaipo we're in, or Dam Cyan? Oh, this is Kaipo.
So sorry, what were you were saying? You got to do some stuff in Japan with this, or I remember
No.
you went. Oh, okay.
That was Dragon Quest XI.
Yeah, I remember you went for Dragon Quest. I was wondering if you got to talk about this at all.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
So we are taking Rydia to the inn because sunstroke or something. We just nearly killed her mom, or we did kill her mom. She's nearly dead. So the innkeeper's very nice. This is he can have a bed for free.
Take her to the In-N-Out and get her a burger.
Yeah.
Lance says, it really does feel like the game went for super big cinematic scenes at first, then ran out of money and time.
As is the fate of most games. Hey, are you alright?
We're going to create the most cinematic cinema in the history of whatever you call that thing movies are part of.
I'm so sorry about your mother. I understand if you can't forgive me. Yeah, it's probably going to take a while. Alright, just going to go to sleep in my armor then.
Yep, just right here in the bed next to you. Don't be afraid to call.
All summoners of mist must be annihilated. Enter over.
Now, how does he know that there was a girl survivor?
It's RPG. Don't forget, this is a very early art. This was probably an RPG's first real serious attempt to tell a story. I mean, 2 did as well, but 4 really kind of took 2 and stepped it up.
Why are you all so much bigger than me?
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I thought it was like going to be like, okay, is, what's his name, the other guy, like, Kane, a traitor, or did he, like, rat him out?
Good point. I never even thought of that. But you'll see.
Like, it's literally the only logical explanation, unless there was someone else there that we didn't see.
When it comes to logical explanations, this is not your game for logical explanations. It's all fantasy. Oops.
A Final Fantasy, even.
I'm gonna get my ass kicked in a
Title
second.
drop! Yeah, they're trying hard to tell a story, and it's like, yep, we'll get there someday. And now we have The Last of Us on, what is it, HBO?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, yeah, honestly, I'm a little surprised they haven't tried to do more, like, just with the Final Fantasy stuff. Spirits Within doesn't count.
So Rydia at this point is like a kindergartner. She's not exactly useful.
She like one-hit KO'd your party. How could she not be useful?
That was RPG magic. She didn't even have the Titan summon at this point in the game. I don't know how she did that. I think it was implied that since she's so, like, in so much turmoil, that caused her to summon something way above her age level. Right now, her summons include...
So basically, she just, like, Gohan'd you.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
It's completely a Gohan moment. She is kind of cute in that portrait. Oh, right. So we are going to go to Kaipo. Sorry, Damn Cyan. In just a moment. I'm going to buy some potions. I'm pretty much out.
So speaking of summons and summoners and stuff, that's what the new one's all about, right?
Yes.
So how's that looking to you?
Oh, looking pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. Can you move, Grandma? Someone to put you in a box floating down the river. I want to put you in a box floating down the river, Grandma. Oh, it's probably true.
Jewelry Joey, hello. Dropped a couple of...
My eyes are fucked up. What is that?
I was going to say, I think those are old lady, maybe?
No.
Go with the grandma thing?
Boys love candy.
This is looking pretty good, says, Jolly says.
Let's see, do I want to bother... What do I want to do with her? Cast... Oh, right, Rod does that. Poisona, I don't really need that. So she already has a Rod, and she can cast Magic Arrow. Should I bother giving her... If I give her a bow, she's going to miss every second shot, so...
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Jory Jolly says it's me waving.
Hi.
I'm sorry. My eyes are shot. I just don't know.
Yeah, sorry. The screen's very small on our laptop.
It's not even on our laptop. It's on the bloody iPad here.
So
and I don't know Twitch emojis to begin with, so I'm like always squinting, and I'm like, okay, I think I know what that is. I'm sorry.
We are going to progress the story because we're going to go into this person's house and
I feel lousy now.
Girl from Baron lying unconscious just outside of town. Desert fever.
Jewelry Jelly, thank you for sticking around after that, says, Nadia, your Particio, is that how it's pronounced?
Particio, yeah.
Tweet from earlier this week got me thinking, and it made me arrive at an important conclusion. The hat stays on.
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely.
And hey, the fire looks really well animated.
So this is Rosa, she somehow crawled after us. She's like been struck by desert fever, which, interesting fact, we are going to get the Sand Ruby to cure her of this fever, which means going to Damn Cyan, which means meeting a Spoony Bard. And in the world of Final Fantasy game, which is kind of revisits a lot of like classic moments from Final Fantasy games, one of the quests is Cecil has to get the Desert Pearl to cure someone, he says someone he loves of the desert fever, and you assume, they're just redoing the whole going to find the Desert Pearl for Rosa storyline, but no, at the very end you find out he was getting it for Kain. So they kind of turned it on his head and made it extremely gay.
And this is in what now?
World of Final Fantasy. It's like a kind of an obscure... Magic Hero's not bad. Like, it was the one where the characters all had big heads and they look like Funko Pops.
Oh, yeah, and you play as, like, some other, like, OCs or something, right?
I don't know how many OCs there were, but there were a couple. There was, like, a girl and a guy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so, Drew says, you're giving good vibes across nations. No apologies necessary. Oh, I don't know. I feel like it was absolutely necessary in that case. I'm really sorry. Jory Jelly says, whoa, Black Betty, Damn Cyan?
Whoa, Black Betty.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Whoa, Black Betty. Shit. Oh, man.
Radical Defect says, as they should. And Drew RWX says, quote, Final Fantasy SD, unquote.
Wow, Rydia's almost dead. Okay, I better take care of this.
So I'm curious, does this game have one of those like really shitty filters that just, looks like they took a photoshopped smear tool and just ran it over the screen?
I've been told that the I haven't used any of the filters, but I've been told that a couple of them are really good. Let's see, standard, classic. Okay, so they actually tried to make it with scan lines that aren't just sort of like carriable scan lines. Standard. Okay, so classic has the scan lines,
Oh, neat.
but I prefer standard. I just
Joey Jelly says, "No worries, David. I'm in a good mood." Oh, I'm glad. And Lance says, "Rydia dodged an attack. That's super lucky."
yeah, that was extremely lucky.
Joey Jelly asks, "How are you liking the arranged music versus the original?"
Oh, it's great. The arranged music for 4 and 6 are both excellent. And if you don't like it, you can switch right back. So there's no conflict there.
Gotta love options.
Yeah, can't go wrong with options. Oh, she does not have thunder yet, which is exactly what you need in this cave. But I'm about to get Tella, so it'll be good insurance.
So this doesn't have the after years on it, does it?
No,
So that means it's not available on the current generation of consoles, right?
after years.
Yeah.
For some reason, the 3D version was made and it's available on Steam, but not the 2D WiiWare version.
Steam doesn't count.
The 3D version is different. Well, I don't know. 3D version is actually the actual game, whereas the 3D Final Fantasy IV is very different from the original. So I don't know. It's not easy. It should be more accessible, and it's not. So, meh.
And just to underscore it, that's not like a sign of disrespect for Steam. That's actually the opposite. I feel like it's generationally agnostic, practically, because you got stuff from when it launched that you could still play now, and that's just so beyond what most consoles do that.
Shit, I've learned.
I feel like it doesn't count as a question of is it available on modern hardware kind of question. It's beyond that.
I learned Thunder and I don't have any MP. Maybe I'll go back after I get Tella. Do I have any Ether though? If I have Ether, I might just give it to her.
Xbox has a pretty good backwards compatibility thing going on. Nintendo Switch, of course, that doesn't work with anything, and here's hoping that the next Switch at least works with this.
Here's Tella, his old fart. Yes, that dark sword. It's a dark knight. I need your assistance. His daughter was deceived by a wicked barge. Basically, they eloped, and he's like, I don't approve of your union. So he's going basically to retrieve her.
You're making him sound like the way I used to imagine Cranky Kong sounded. And then it's we saw the movie, and it's wow. Radical Defect says, let's see, it bothers me that these pixel remasters aren't technically the definitive versions of the games. I'm just going to say right there, that always drives me nuts when you get a new version of a game or something like this. It's there have been these other versions in the past. There's always something left out. At least it usually seems that way. And then it's well, it's not exactly definitive because, you got that with this and this with that.
Why did I choose Blizzard? What happened there?
Just two different reasons you might want to play each, so... But to continue that, I'd probably pick the PSP Complete version before this one.
Yeah, I would.
And 6's bonus dungeons are missing from this, too. But at least you can play them all in one place.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've gone on about that many times on Axe of Blood God. I don't understand it. The bonus content in Final Fantasy IV is referenced in 14. So why would you release the games? So, say, oh, we want to bolster attention for, the Final Fantasy IV stuff in Final Fantasy 14. Cool. You don't have the stuff that's relevant. That doesn't make any sense. Ladies and gentlemen, that does not make sense.
That is hilariously typical. It's kind of like with Mega Man Legacy Collection, and it's oh, do we finally get the Saturn content? No! PlayStation only! Couldn't you have added the Saturn content? No! PlayStation only! Well, what about the cutscenes from X3? No! Super NES only! So, now people are kind of well, I mean, Mega Man Anniversary Collection still got some stuff for me then, and it's just... I don't know. It's just you kind of... I thought the idea was to kind of get everybody buy this because it is the version, but then you're always leaving reasons for people to go back to the old stuff that is hard to get or whatever. So I don't know. It's just the way they do things, I guess. Lance says, I don't particularly care for the advanced stuff, except for the stuff in FF2 that adds actual story content. But I'd still like it to be in there for replayability.
4 adds story content. 4 also lets you choose your party at the end of the game. Like, this is a very linear game, and once someone's out, they're usually out for good. But in the bonus version of the game, you can go to the Tower of Prayers and select your party. So you can, like, fight with Edward, you can fight with Tell is dead, so he's not coming back. But yeah, you can really rip ass with anyone, really. Tear ass, rip ass, whatever.
2 things.
I'm trying to get into the fucking inn, thank you.
1, I like how the front gate back there, and you walk away before I got to say it, like, has, like, a face. And 2, yeah, it's like, I wish, like, old content like that would be included, and you could toggle it on or off or whatever. I remember Sega Ages, like, some of the releases there, like, on the Switch, they're, like, really good, probably some of the best releases, but some of them are missing stuff from other stuff, and then it's just like, it's good, but, like, the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was, like, a really good example. It's like, okay, this is probably, like, like, the best version of Sonic 2 you're gonna get on the Switch. That was essentially until, like, they put the cell phone version on Sonic Origins, but at the time that wasn't a thing, so it's like, okay, the best one is still stuck on the phone, so. Lance says, I meant the soul stuff in Final Fantasy 2, where you play as the party members you, quote, lose, unquote.
Oh, I never even tried that. Final Fantasy 2, it's one of those games I've tried many times, even with the remake. In fact, I first tried it in Dawn of Souls with the GBA, and it's just like, I really hate how this game works. But with all the quality of life stuff, maybe I'll give it another try, who knows.
That was the one that Johnny Versus I didn't care for, right?
Probably. No one really cares for it that much. I'm attacking the darkness.
Yeah.
Rydia learns sleep.
Learns what?
Sleep.
Oh, I thought she knew how to do that already.
Nope. She's learning as we go along. I'm not bothering with zombies, they're a pain in the ass.
Lent says the Pixel Remaster allows you to boost stat gains 4 times, and it's perfect.
Yeah. I don't have that on right now, but yeah, I have it on my regular game. Is that yeah, it's a chest of meat.
She's showing off.
Who, me? What am I doing?
Not using the gains thing.
I don't really need to, really.
That's fair, I suppose.
Move your ass, old man. Thank you.
So, any questions from the chat?
You don't have to talk the whole time. It's okay to be silent sometimes.
Yeah, but, in lieu of anything else coming to mind.
I mean, give it a little time. I'm just kind of playing here, having fun. I like low-stress situations.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, shit, I should have killed that asshole. He's gonna run, and he's worth a lot of money.
Waterbug.
And he keeps doing this high-level cure spell. You should not be seeing that until the end of the game.
Huh.
Let's see if I can blizzard his ass. Thunder his ass. Come on, we're to thunder your ass here. Alright, we killed you. No! God damn it! Why are you still here? How are you not... He's gonna run.
I forget, was it 4 or 6 that they took the boss music from for Culex in Super Mario RPG?
4. This one.
I thought it might be.
I'm playing in the water. Splish splash. Not fighting zombies, I don't care. Not worth it.
Oh yeah, what was it we saw? We saw somebody... Let's see, we saw the Completionist do a thing on Illusion of Gaia recently, and was he the one who brought up, like, Enix's stuff, like, like there's... Or was it somebody else who brought up, like, there's some kind of weird... Like, they're trying to re-release... No, it was Koshiro who mentioned it. Or did Completionist mention Koshiro? I don't know, there's like a thing just talking about, like, a lot of Enix's kind of lost games, so to speak.
Maybe that was Completionist?
Somebody did. And, yeah, it just sounds like the rights are just kind of like,
Yeah, rights and stuff are kind of up in the air.
Yeah, because like Enix is just not Enix, but shoot, who's the ones who made
Quintet.
ActRaiser Quintet? Like, yeah, they just kind of vanished, which is like tragic. Because
They're working on it, which is nice. Radio's getting
Quintet
pumped.
made the Super NES sing.
Someone dropped something.
I would love to play Illusion of Gaia.
Oh,
on
good,
the,
a back attack zombies. This is what I want out of my life.
on Switch and stuff.
See, when you get a back attack, it means the back row characters are suddenly in the front and can get their asses kicked. But nobody really hit me for any bad damage, so that's good.
By the way, is the fan like causing any distortion for you guys?
So now we have toads, and these assholes can turn us into toads if we're not careful. So we're not going to give them the chance.
Right when I needed it most, I forget what that line Toad delivered in that trailer was. Something, something danger. Oh well.
This should take care of him. Fun fact, in Final Fantasy, it's usually ice spells against cold-blooded animals. Or cold-blooded enemies in general.
Lance says, we can hear the fan, but it's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
if it's fine.
I'm not streaming without the fan. I already am too hot enough over here.
Fair enough. We should really like start using the AC again at some point.
No, not quite time yet.
Doo-doo-doo. Radical Defect says, since I'm sitting down with dinner, I'm curious. Favorite seafood, anybody? I mean,
Big seafood person.
meanwhile, I'm like, seafood is a favorite. I like a lot of it. I like various kinds of fish. I like shrimp of various kinds. I like calamari, crab, lobster. Yeah, I guess I'm a seafood lover. Joy Jelly says, I just had salmon for dinner, and now I'm jealous. I love sushi. Tuna is good. Like, usually when I eat tuna, it's either as sushi or as, whatchamacallit, like tuna salad. But, you know, either way, it's
Shit.
good.
Ambush, I'm gonna run.
Radical Defect says, literally me, salmon as we speak.
I just never grew up with a lot of seafood, so I just never really liked it.
I like scallops.
I like it just fine. Like if someone says, "Hey, let's have salmon for dinner," I'm gonna be like, "Oh, cool," but I'm not gonna sit there and like be like, "I really, really want salmon for dinner right now."
Clams are good. Sometimes we get lox, like, you know, on cream cheese bagels.
That's the seafood I'm most familiar with, which isn't really from the sea, but or I guess the salmon is from the sea, obviously. But I know I have like a lot of smoked fish, pickled fish, a lot of Jewish stuff. But you know, a lot of Jews do eat fish, and even then, my mom was just not a fan of fish, so we never really grew up with a lot of fish.
I like anchovies on a pizza, conditionally. I prefer them to be, like, you know, chopped up, and you need pineapple to help kind of cut through the saltiness a little bit, but, and yeah, no, pineapple on pizza. Now, this is, like, one of those cases where, like, you know, I guess you could say two wrongs make a right, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Huh.
It works out.
Shit. These controls are a bit slippery.
Jewelry Jelly says, I did the today's menu for the EMEA family recipe and steamed it with carrot, onion, mushroom, butter, and miso.
Ooh, that sounds good. So here's the save room.
She loves her miso soup.
We're gonna rest here. And just explaining how the magic field repels monsters. You can save or use the cottage here. What the hell is saving? Cecil asks. So now we are in the tent. I have something, I guess.
Zeph has entered the chat.
Hi, Zaf.
I am late, but I am here.
Yay! Just in time. Sorry you missed Cecil killing Rydia's mom. It was a riot. That girl's asleep already. Who is she? Ask me, who is she? Summoner from Village of Mist. Something I find interesting is that they're kind of using the older localization here, because in this day and age, a summoner would be more like it would probably be called. The summon monster is called an Eidolon. But on the original, like, SNES, it was all, like, calling and summons and stuff like that. They kind of went back to that here.
Zeph says, oh no, angst.
She reminds me of Anna at that age. Who is Anna? Your mom. She eloped with a spoony bard.
Heh. So is she the big spoon or the little spoon?
That's a good question. Yeah, and they brought back like the sand ruby. I think it was the old new translation of sand pearl. So I kind of like that like tribute to the old while sticking to like a more modern sort of translation.
So here's a question for you. What kind of stuff have they done with Final Fantasy IV? Like you mentioned, Theater Rhythm and World of Final Fantasy. Like just in general, what's some of the stuff that they've done with Final Fantasy for characters and lore and whatnot, in other games and stuff that you've enjoyed?
Oh God. Shit, I'm not going to say where my current.
I mean, if you don't want to answer the question, we can move
I'm
right
just
along.
no. I'm just trying to think. Like I don't know. It's 4 was the start of so many like mechanics and tropes and stuff like that. Oh, good, an ice rod.
I was thinking more in terms of like, they used like, what was it you said, the Sand Ruby in 14 or something, or maybe it was something else in 14, or.
No, they didn't use the sand ruby in 14.
Okay. Or like in, say, Dissidia, for example, like, who was the rep there? Because like they picked like one person per game, right?
Yes. In Dissidia 2, you had Cecil and Kane as the rep.
Oh, so like 2 Dark Knights?
Cecil, Kane's not a Dark Knight.
Oh, he's not?
Sorry, no, Kane's not a Dark Knight. He's a Dragoon.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And Cecil could switch between like Paladin and Dark Knight, which was pretty cool. Why are you not dead?
I take it you were happy with the representation there, then?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Dissidia has some fun story bits that are often overlooked.
Zeph says, yeah, the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster localization did a lot of homages to the older SNES one, too. Lance says, random thought as I look at the Final Fantasy 16 branded controller. It looks a whole lot like they're reusing the Lucavi circle from Tactics in FF16. Love me a good arcane circle.
I'm very bad at Tactics. I didn't play a whole lot of it, to be honest with you. I know that sounds terrible. I'm sorry. Radical
Defect says, alas, there's no Cecil, and Urgai's God bless the ring. High five. Because, yeah, Urgai's, I loved playing that. Ironically, I liked you, even though, like, I never played Final Fantasy VII, like, once, ever. I guess technically I played a little bit of the remake when I was helping you in the Shinra Tower that time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, at that point in time, never touched Final Fantasy, but, like, I'd be using Cloud and Tifa and stuff for whatever reason, because, like, that was some fun. They should really re-release Urgai's Remastered HD or something, I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely... I mean, I'm not saying there's a huge demand for it, but there is demand.
Yeah, Square's got some titles in their back pocket that they should really, like, dig back out.
You know, those tiny mages are assholes. I'm not messing with them right now.
I still want a new Rad Racer.
Good luck with that. I asked if... I don't even know why I asked, but I did.
You know why you asked. You married it.
They were very confused, I think, by the question, but the answer is not really.
I was really hoping, the dude... Is Mistwalker the name of the studio he founded? The guy who,
Sakaguchi?
Sakaguchi, yeah. Like, that's the studio he made, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I, looked at some of the stuff he was, doing on mobile and stuff, years ago, and I was like, man, I would love it if he did a new Rad Racer, because I like Rad Racer. You give us, just put the damn thing on Nintendo Switch Online. Just do something. That's all I ask.
When you ask Square to do something, you can get a disaster. Might not even be worth it. They'd probably put an NFT in there or something. This is a really cool...
You know what? Even if they ruined it, I'd at least appreciate that at least it's something. I guess. I don't know.
I like this effect. That was so neat on the Super Nintendo.
I'm not going to be any worse off than I already was at this point.
Oh boy.
Is basically what I'm getting at.
It's the famous moose enemies.
Oh, hey, it's the Krang.
They look a bit like it, because I guess they're the same color, but they are impossible... Well, you can hit them with regular weapons, but they take forever to kill.
And not just the color, the eyes, the mouths. I mean, it looks like the 2012 series Krang. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to lose the thread here. Zeph says, I'm kind of impressed that you two have been married for this long and BD can mistake Kane for a Dark Knight.
Yeah, really? Come on. Oh boy.
I didn't know there was a difference, to be honest. I thought, Dragoon was a type of Dark Knight or something. I don't know.
No, Dragoons are a type of knight, yes, but they, well, if you want the history of it, in Baron, which is the place we started in, Dragoons used to ride on dragons and defend the castle that way.
You saw how there was like two different colors of like the
Oh
toads
shit!
there?
When did I turn into it? Yeah,
Yeah, I was like thinking sort of like that. Like that's like what they were to like, the knights or something.
the way he celebrates.
Two of a kind, as it were.
But no, dragoons actually were they were originally the force of like protection for Baron, and then the Dark Knights came along with the airships and kind of pushed them out. And that's actually one of the reasons Kane's pissed off all the time, because his father built up the dragoons, and here comes Cecil and the Red Wings, and it's like, well, I guess I'm not really needed anymore. Can I fix myself? Oh, I think.
Lent says the Lucavi circle shows up when you're placing your units before any battle. It's the background image. Radical Defect says all 6 fans of that game, including me, will pop off like Daffy Duck. Urguys? Got that right.
I don't have. Oh, you know what? I do have an item to fix this.
Toothless, please
Just-
stop.
Leave her for now. There we go.
Our other cat is knocking stuff off of Nadia's table. Let's see. Marco SM64 says, does escape always succeed in this game?
Yes, well, not against bosses, but it's always been really good about letting you run quickly. Probably only Final Fantasy game that lets you do that. It used to be, I think in the original, you would lose a little bit of gil sometimes, but I think they even took that out of this version.
Yeah, if I'd kept reading, Lance says, yes, and you don't drop money. And Marco says, cool. Zeph says, weirdly sensual Sahuagin? Jen?
Sahagan.
Sahagani?
I guess they are kind of... They do kind of have that hey movement going on when you look at them. Like, they look like they're about to step forward and propose to you.
I think it's just alligator.
Yeah.
And here Toothless has come over to make her presence known. At least she's not knocking things over anymore. Radical Defect says, y'all did a whole class consciousness episode on it, right, Nadia?
We did.
Anyone who doesn't know what a dragoon is can learn.
Well, I just kind of gave the basics. In the supplemental stuff I've read, it would take, like, basically all the dragoons were, or most of them were hereditary, because it would take, like, 15 years to train a dragon. Just basically training and breeding dragons, like, compared to airships, became too ineffective and slow, so hence the airships. And
Drew RWX says, Dragon Kitty! And Lance says, your cats definitely want a guest starring role today.
yes, they do. Did you feed them?
No, they had food in the thing earlier.
Oh, fuck's sake, cats.
I meant to check, to make sure it's still got more later, but I don't think it's time for it yet.
They're just jealous they're not being paid attention to.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So this is actually a very long dungeon, as you can see. They give you a break in between and say, if you want to use a tent, go ahead. So I may as well.
It's so weird that tents are, just this, disposable, I guess, commodity.
Actually, in this game, it's a little more complicated. Like, tents will restore some of your health, at this point in the game, it's restoring most of your health and most of your MP. But later in the game, you need to buy cottages.
Tuh.
And it won't, revive anyone who's dead.
Do cottages disappear after use, or?
Oh, yeah.
That is crazy. Tango?
Leave them. Do I care? Yeah, sure, why not?
Jewelry Jelly says, I love how in Final Fantasy VI almost everyone has a unique tent.
Yeah, everyone has their own little tents. Like Locke has kind of a one with an adventurous looking one, whereas the king, what are they called? The twins, Edgar and Sabin, have a royal tent.
Lance says, so wasteful to be leaving once used cottages everywhere.
Yeah, really.
So, yeah,
How is he not dead?
Like I said, it's amazing I know as much about Final Fantasy as I do at this point, because, I don't know. I watch, Johnny Versus review them, and, I hear her talk about them sometimes, But, yeah, so, tents and cottages, that wasn't in Final Fantasy VII, was it? So that's probably the one I know the best, if I'm being honest.
Don't think so.
Everything else, it's just bits and pieces that I've just kind of latched onto over the years.
As we go on, and like in the early part of the game, you get like some really kick-ass equipment for Cecil that's just lying around.
Now I'm just imagining a Final Fantasy Monopoly where instead of houses and hotels, you have tents and cottages.
Huh. That'd be kind of interesting. Got the Hades armor, Hermes shoes, which is more of an item, but yeah.
But you said they quit using that at 7, right?
No, the quit using like
The tents and stuff?
no.
No? Oh, they do have it?
Oh no, sorry, I'm trying to think. I don't know for sure, but
I just don't like. At least I don't remember it in the remake. That's the one I'm probably most familiar with
Yeah.
at this point. So, I guess it wanted to fit the the aesthetic.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a total Final Fantasy noob. Don't expect much from me, and you won't be disappointed. Lance says cottages as a separate thing from tents started and ended in 4 IIRC.
Yeah, this is the only game that really did it.
Oh, okay.
Final Fantasy VI was all tents all the time. All right, we're about to fight a boss. Oh, I never showed you her Chocobo summon. Guess we'll do that in a second.
Okie doke. On that note, has there been a Final Fantasy Monopoly? Because I would be surprised. I would not be surprised if there had been.
I don't know. So this is actually not a hard boss. I don't remember if Thunder does much on him, but I'm gonna summon Chocobo.
I guess instead of dollars, it would be what's the currency? Gil?
Gil, yeah. See, so it's like she has that for her summon, but it's like you're looking for Titan. It's like, no, you don't get Titan for a while.
This dude reminds me so much of that. It's the face, and it reminds me so much. Was it Ultros or something?
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah. Just like the same vibe there. Zaf says, LOL this boss's face. Hey, good to see you. What's that sword for?
What's calamari? I guess ice doesn't do much against him.
I forget where it was. I think it was Taiwan, but they're doing like some sort of like the Pizza Hut there. I think is doing some kind of pizza now where they've got like the whole freaking squid on there, and I'm like, okay, sign me up.
Not for me.
Hey, first time chat from Kuro Bone SJGT, and I just like to say, no, go away.
So yeah, spammer?
Yes. May want to ban that. Let me see if I can...
Don't worry about it. You can ban him like... I think you tried that before. Just ban him like later.
Yeah, I don't think my iPad's gonna let me do it. Unless I'm missing a trick here.
Yeah, this bugger is really hanging in there. Should probably get ready to cast something that matters. Oh, it doesn't matter anymore.
Huh.
He dead.
Okay, is he supposed to be sinking into the water? Because it just looks more like he's moving downstream as he disappears.
No clue. Warp is such a pointless spell. I've never used it.
Tap on their username. Follow, whisper. Oh, let's see what this, like, no sign does.
I wouldn't mess with it right now.
Well, I did it. It's done.
Good. Alright, so we stepped out of the cave,
Thank you very much, Lance.
and we're about to go to Dam Cyan. It's going to be great. Watch this. Hello. Keep away from Castle Lemongrab.
Yeah.
They changed that. Like, they made it a little more cinematic. Before they would just come in from the side and just bomb the shit out of everything. It was actually pretty hilarious. that is still pretty funny. I mean, not like ha-ha funny, but
Huh.
the castle is... That was just like a really quick raid, I have to say. Everyone's dead. Close enough.
Drew RWX says, on a wholesome shill note, Sarah Podzorski would be an amazing Charlian dropout.
Oh, maybe I have to look into that. Here's a secret room.
And Zaf says, ha, I remember Final Fantasy 1 had houses and sleeping bags made appearances somewhere. Final Fantasy 8 had cottages, but I don't remember that game very well.
6 also, yeah, 6 had sleeping bags that you could use to restore people one by one. I got a crossbow, which I'm not going to use it because I don't have Rosa in my party. But there's some good stuff down here. And then we're going to go meet Edward, my favorite bard. Yay.
The spooniest of bards.
He's like useless for a part of this game, but like if you can get him in the, in one of the games that let you actually, fight at the end of the game, like he turns into a monster. He gets some crazy ass weapons, and in After Years, actually, he's the only one who knows what the fuck is going on. So he really gets his redemption arc. But as we're about to see here, he's kind of a weenie early on. They took the crystal, basically. They bombed the shit out of everything to take the crystal. I don't know if there's anything of value left. Oh, there it is.
I like how the corpses are laying so uniformly.
Yeah. Very polite.
Um,
The healing pot's upstairs. He never makes it.
Lance says, oh yeah, Psycho Edward is such a great build because of the hide bug.
Here we go. Da-da-da-da! Love that little sting. And this fucker was hiding. Whoa. And here's...
You know, the bard reminds me a lot of Namco's Valkyrie.
You spoony bard. That's just been like a carryover from every single version of the game.
If it works.
I mean, it's iconic at this point.
Yeah, I mean, God, removing that would be like, like removing Die, monster, you don't belong in this world.
Which they did.
Oh, yeah.
I love how he's like just trying to be a dramatic fight, but he keeps missing. And, ouch! Edward's just like not moving.
Jordy Jelly says, say the line, Tella.
Yeah, say the line, Tella. Spoony Bard. Yay!
And we'll just flank the sides.
Yeah,
Lance says,
yay.
did they remove Son of a Submariner in Final Fantasy VI? I forget.
They did. They've changed it to Son of a Sandworm, which I admit Submarine is a lot funnier.
Every time I hear Submariner, I think of Namor from Marvel Comics.
I've never heard the name Golbez before. Who is he? Your brother. Oh shit, I gave it away.
Zaf says, I think they kept that in the Pixel Remaster, but GBA took it out.
Ah. I thought they used the GBA scripts for this, but I'm not sure. They might have, I do know they, that Something Awful joke is from them. Obviously, but maybe they did some further retooling here.
I was going to say maybe they, picked and chose.
Maybe.
Chose. Me speak English good.
Oh, she did.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Zixia says, Nadia, I completely agree with you about Terranigma. Great game with a fascinating story. Would have been way more popular if it came out in the US. Also, an HD 2D version would rule.
Yeah.
And a spinny chocobo? Is it?
Basically, I defended Terranigma in our latest Pantheon episode. What do you call it?
Pantheon of the Blood Gun?
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm tired.
Tch.
You're a grown up. You're not supposed to cry.
So, did it make it in?
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't give that away because that's like, you know, special content that's supposed to be for patrons.
Oh,
so.
whoops.
Oh well, not a big deal. Yes, it won. I mean, there's 25 other games to talk about, so.
Sorry, I'm the one who asked.
I like Cecil just belted this guy one.
Lance says, I hope the Quintet rights issues get resolved. And Ezekiel says, hope so. Agreed.
I like how he hits Edward and says, Your Majesty, I need your help.
Would it be okay to ask if there were any Pantheon contenders that haven't gotten in that you can speak of?
Oh, I don't know. I'm too tired to think of them right now.
Fair enough. Lance says, it's a tease, Nadia. We have to sub for more.
Huh, pretty much. Oh, right, we got a hovercraft. Which I wish was more useful in this game. I wish Edward was more useful in this game. It's just been a long-ass week, and I just recorded Blood God, and I'm just whacked.
Yeah.
And I still got a lot. Tomorrow I gotta record a Retronauts. Tuesday I gotta record I forget. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Goodbye, Anna. Oh shit, she's blinking.
Why is she the only one who blinks out of existence?
RPG rules. She's the important one. The rest of them can all suck rocks.
Aziksa says Final Fantasy VI should be in the Pantheon and never leave it.
Yeah, I think any game that was in the top 25, like, we left alone.
Let's see. So is, like, being in the Pantheon, like, a status that can change?
Yeah.
Really?
Because, you know, opinions change over time. So that was the whole point. We went back and revisited what we had put in the Pantheon before.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Am I going the right way? No, here we go.
I thought it was like a recap best of kind of thing. Okay, is there, like, only so many slots in the Pantheon?
25.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just, like, an ever-growing thing. Wow, 25. That... Ooh. That sounds like that'd be rough to sort out.
It is.
Let's see. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Radical Defect says, I'm still salty about Chrono Cross, not gonna lie. Lance says, Hovercraft is kind of useful if you hunt for the best armor in the game, but if not...
Yeah, it's definitely, like, it comes in later for, like, if you're looking for the Excalibur, and also you can go to Eblan, the Ninja Kingdom, early on. Once you get the hook that brings it to the cave. Actually, no, you don't even need to do that. You just, once you have the airship, go to Eblan, and the monsters there are absolutely ferocious, but you will get some pretty great armor at a point in the game when you probably shouldn't have.
Zixa says, shame they didn't keep some of the DS Final Fantasy additional content in these.
Yeah, for sure.
Drew RWX says, every video game hovercraft should aspire to be as useful as the DKC-3 hovercraft.
I like that thing, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Lance says, oh god, they didn't fix the speed of the hovercraft in the console version. I hate this.
Nope, they sure didn't. But you don't use it for long, so it doesn't bother me too much.
And Aziksa says to Radical Defect, I'm not. That game should have been a proper sequel. They failed as hardcore.
Huh.
That was talking about Chrono Cross.
Yeah, there's always arguments over that. Your mileage will vary.
How much of the original team from Chrono Trigger did Chrono Cross?
Oh, I don't remember, but it wasn't the Dream Team, that was for sure.
I just wonder if something like that would or could ever happen again.
So right now we are on our way to fight the antlion. And get ourselves some secretions.
Ew.
I mean, that's what it is, apparently.
Lance says, very little carried over, and what was left went to work on Final Fantasy XI, I think.
Oh, that's interesting.
And, oh, I missed a couple of things here, actually. Drew RWX says, clean up your scrapped timelines, damn it. And Radical Defect says, I like Chrono Cross better than Chrono Trigger. I've been exiled from my village and have no friends except my cat.
Huh.
Sorry, is that like an end-game thing that happens, or are you talking about like from the Chrono fandom and you've been exiled from them now for liking Cross? I feel like you could read either way.
Yeah.
For what I know of it, anyway. Drew RWX says, my dream team is Monolith Soft plus Platinum.
That would be a hell of a mix. I don't know what you get from that. Dear God, it'd be like insane, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
Why did Blizzard not work on that piece of crap?
Open world combo based, like anime action.
But Platinum's been kind of hit or miss. Like, mostly hit, but what is it they just did that was absolutely terrible? Babylon's Fall or whatever?
What was it? Okay. Because I was thinking like Bayonetta 3 was like their latest, unless they did that prequel thing.
I think they did the prequel thing, but I'm not really counting that. It's kind of a fun little side game.
Yeah. Zigsa says, LOL. Drew RWX says, the Dream Team really loved their, in parentheses, toothless and not, in parentheses, kitties.
Oh.
Lance Hart says, I should start the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 final DLC. Just gotta find my cartridge.
Yeah, I gotta start it myself. It's supposed to be really good.
Zigsa asks, Radical Defect, is your cat name Lavos?
Huh.
That I got. God, I really wish they'd bring Xenoblade Chronicles X to the Switch.
I don't know. I think I'm good with the fact they're moving forward. X was interesting, but it was not my favorite by a long shot. And they'd have to add some stuff to kind of make it a little more palatable.
I'm fine with that, because I didn't really get to finish it on Wii U, but I enjoyed what I played.
Leshy.
I wouldn't mind, like, being able to kind of go back and do stuff there again.
What's a leshy?
I made my character in that look like John Cena. I don't know if that's something I would do to do again, though. Radical Defect says, everybody loves Trigger. I also do. I just love Cross more. I was gonna joke and say my cat was named Lynx, but no, is Percy.
Huh.
Drew says, playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC as we speak. It might kind of connect to X. And Lance says, played through Trigger all the way through for the first time last year. I finally get why it's so beloved. I just wish I didn't get through 75% of the game before I understood.
Huh. Took a while, huh?
Kept you waiting, huh?
Antarctic Wind.
Dun,
Should
dun,
use some
dun,
of
dun,
those.
dun.
I think here we have a better harp for Loser Boy. Yeah, the Lamia's harp, which is a lot better.
Lance said, I had to reach Zeal, basically.
Oh, Zeal's such a great part of the game. Like, it's probably one of my favorite transitions in a game. Just, it has such a foreboding air that is not present in the game until that point. And it's like, because it basically, like, context, Zeal is a ancient kingdom from, like, the 12,000 BC where people are highly advanced in using magic and not for good purposes entirely. And it's all a terrible mess. And it's the first time you go anywhere in that game and you're like, wow, I don't belong here. Everyone here could kick my ass. Because everyone there is like a highly trained magic user and you just started using magic. And they even tell you, like, okay, well, you can use magic so you can stay here, but it's not very strong, is it? And like, no, I only know fire and ice, I guess.
Well, you got a leg up on me. The only spells I know are salt and pepper. Need a little salt for your food? Oh.
We're almost at time.
Oh, yeah, we are, aren't we?
So I'm gonna, like, turn off encounter and just go to the boss.
Drew, RWX says, quote, all life begins with new and ends with new. This is the truth. This is my belief. ... At least for now, unquote.
Yeah, that's a pretty famous quote from the game. The news of my mom used to call them blue Smarties, if you know, like, if you're Canadian, you know what a Smartie is. Because it did kind of look like a Smartie. Very much a Toriyama creation, you could tell right off the bat.
So what's a new?
It's a little, like, monster, really cute, like, basically a blue thing with a tuft of green hair. I'll show you later.
So I guess what I can take from this is that no news is bad news?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Let's see. Drew says, Canada Smarties greater than America Smarties. Too true. Lance says, wow, they really do look like Smarties. Zexa says, not to be confused with a zoo. And Drew says, and I love America Smarties.
Well, we have American Smarties here. They're just called Rockets. But we don't have Good and Plenty, which is, I'm glad for, because those things are freaking nasty.
Aren't they like licorice bites or something?
Yeah, we have something. You're right. We have like goodies in their place, which my mom loved. I think she still buys them. Okay, here's the boss. This is where the antlion lays its eggs.
So I don't know if y'all can hear it, but Tango has this thing that he does sometimes where he just kind of paws at the flap of one of the boxes we keep around.
I will
for
demonstrate by taking the sand ruby, like so.
And now that he's been called out on it, he's decided to stop. Radical Defect said, I had no idea Canada Smarties were different.
Yeah. They're like M&Ms, but a little different from them.
Yeah.
So this monster, if you hit him, he will counterattack. Watch.
Okay, I'm noticing like kind of a common thread among some of the monsters here between that, whatever that was with the tentacles and this guy and Ultros.
Uh-huh.
Just with the faces. Let's see. Jewelry Jelly says Good and Plenty are Z tier.
They really are.
Zixa says WTF is a Smartie. Is it like an M&M or Skittle? And Lance says they're kind of like M&Ms, but not as sugary. Yeah, the Canadian Smarties, they're like M&Ms, but bigger. And they're like Nestle chocolate instead of M&M Mars chocolate. They're good. American Smarties, they're those things that look like little sweet tarts, but like are absolutely bereft of tart and are just kind of
They're more chalky than anything.
Yeah.
I was never a huge fan of Rockets or like American Smarties, really.
Yeah, same. And Drew says, geez, my ma has a box of Smart and Plenty stinking up the candy jar.
Yeah. What is it with moms? I just like it. Moms love it. That's their campaign. Just died. Are you gonna die, you asshole? Actually, you should probably.
Good and Plenty should be called Bad and Scarce.
Oh, right. Interesting little fact. Iridia does not have fire magic. She has PTSD, so you can't use it yet.
Wait, is PTSD a spell?
No. She just, story-wise, she won't use it because her village was burned down. She like moves past it, but for now, she doesn't have any fire.
Okay, I thought you were saying she had this spell she couldn't use yet, and it was like PTSD, and I'm like, what? That's kind of messed up. Zexa, LOL. Drew, Amazon's ease of importing candy is a great way of bribing foreign national co-workers. And I don't know, I don't see how people can shop on Amazon. At least me, I'm trying to find like some of those Reese's eggs from Easter. Because like I think those have like way better chocolate peanut butter ratio than your normal Reese's cups and stuff. And it's like people are charging like out the frickin' nose for them.
Yep.
Like a 6-pack for like $40 or something. And it's like, you are out of your friggin' head. So frustrating because it's like, it's kind of tough to find around here. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, a Radical Defect says, when I realized that, it blew my tiny child mind. I was like, she can't use fire because fire hurt her. OMG, this game rules.
It is a really nice little bit of storytelling. Kind of an example of where things would go, like in terms of their storytelling capacity later on. Obviously, they're thinking of the characters and how they act and move and stuff like that. There is basically it's environmental storytelling, which I really like in a video game.
Oh yeah, that's always good.
Why is this asshole... There we go. Okay, now he's dead.
Drew says, sorry bro, American kids are too dumb and prone to choking. And Ezekiel says, almond M&M are my fave of that type of candy, but they are so rare.
I don't know if I don't eat them very often, so I don't look for them very often, but we just go for peanut. Like, good old-fashioned peanut is good for me.
Yeah. Drew says, ludonarrative consonants.
Obtain the sand ruby. Why did they get mad at me because I was stealing its secretions? I'm gonna cure Rosa, then that'll be it for tonight.
That's one thing that like makes helps nudge Sonic 3 and Knuckles ahead of Sonic Mania for me is just the shit. What you call it again? The environmental storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like the well, this is more cinematic, but like, yeah, it's probably an early example of it.
Zixo says peanuts are not nuts. It's a global conspiracy.
Sure, they're legumes. And highly allergy
I was gonna say thanks 2XL or whatever. What was the name of that like robot toy that like told the trivia and that was one of them in the commercial?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, right, we're going to cable.
Pretend I said that. Let's see. Drew RWX says isometry is best geometry.
Huh.
I failed geometry.
That was the only math unit I did well in. I actually look forward to February because that's usually when you do geometry, at least in the Toronto school system. And
wait, go back in and fly for a second.
All right.
Just go over the water. Okay, I like how the shadow turns red. Is that like a reflection of your thing?
Oh, it could be. Never noticed it before. I didn't even know. I've never even gone over this patch of water when I had the hovercraft, to be honest with you. Although, that, like, why does he even have a hovercraft? It's usually like just, wee, I have water, you citizens do not. And he's not really like that. Anyway, let's go cure Rosa.
Zaf says, oh, the sunlight glinting off the water is nice.
Yeah, they have some really nice effects here.
Radical Defect says, the only geometry I'm good at is Geometry Wars. Word.
Ouch. Look at this. Let's touch the fire. So, okay, we're going to cure Rosa.
Zaf says, prob just means you can't land in the water.
Yeah, good point.
I like my idea better. But I'm biased.
It's not even a ruby there. You can see it's like a white pearl. I don't know why they changed it.
Why can't you land a hovercraft in the water? I thought that's what they were designed to do.
Don't ask me. I'm not the hovercraft police. Cecil, you're alive. Thank goodness. How do you feel? I'm fine. I thought I lost you. They just told him he's dead. So yeah, at this point it's like, there's not many crystals left. He's already got a bunch.
How many crystals are there?
Wind, water, earth, fire. Let's see, fire's gone. It's already fell in his hand. Water's gone. I think next we would go to Fabul, which is the wind crystal? I don't remember, but yeah. Spoiler alert, you keep failing to get the crystals. That's like pretty much 90% of this game.
Lance says she was half right. Drew says, clarification for the children. If you excelled in geometry, take drafting. It is applied geometry. And if it's like my class, you get to cut designs with a water cutter at the end.
Oh, sweet.
What's a water cutter?
Basically a really sharp blade made of water.
Wow.
Oh, here you have, like, she's asking, Riddy, can you cast fire? He's like, no. Well, you should know how to cast fire, you weird child. And yeah, because she's like, Riddy's like, you're a summoner. How can you not know how to cast fire?
Silly girl, did you suffer some sort of trauma or something? Some sort of fire-related trauma? You sissy?
Something that is kind of sad about After Years is that everyone is kind of hooked up except for Edward because he lost Anna. And he just never really recovered from that.
Yeah, that is,
And you have that one NPC who says, like, if Anna was still alive, your era would have been born by now. It's like, God, that's mean.
wow.
Like, one of his subjects says that. I'd put her in the dungeon.
Yeah.
I think by the end he was kind of warming up to his secretary, who's kind of foxy, so I don't blame him. But yeah, he's definitely, like... In fact, I think just we'll go through the cinema and that'll be it, because he goes through, like, a...
Drew says, reels over feels, mage, /us.
But yeah, having a little animation where he plays the harp is, like, It was a pretty big deal back then.
Zixa says, Old Edward, alone with a pet baby antlion.
Like how I was playing so bad that he summons a monster.
Huh. Is that what happened?
I don't know. It just kind of attacked him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the monster looks totally different from the sprite there. I thought he, he was going to get mugged.
Give me your harp. And now the dead person's talking to him. This was very standard character development for the day.
Okay. So what's an antlion?
It's kind of a bug, but usually in RPGs they blow them up to like 1,000%.
Oh, I was sort of hoping it was more lion than ant, but...
No, it's an actual bug and it's not a lion, unfortunately.
Ah.
They tend to dig, I think they dig holes in the desert sand and stuff like that and capture their prey that way. Like I said, a very popular RPG enemy. You're rejecting my sexy advances. I'll go home then.
Shit.
Wow, he really jumped in levels there.
So, Lance says, I should replay the After Years. I barely remember how it goes, and I never did the grind to get Kalka and Brina fixed.
Oh, I love Kalka and Brina. The game did have some merits in Kalka and Brina with one of them.
Like, they the twins that, turn into, something or other to stop something from killing everybody else, or am I thinking of a totally different game?
Now you're thinking of Paladin and Param from this game.
Oh, okay.
They were player characters.
At least I was in the right ballpark.
All set. All right, and that is it for me in Final Fantasy XIV. Sorry, Final Fantasy IV. I'm hungry.
Zixa says, I really wish they fixed up the After Years.
So yeah, now we have Rosa. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
Alright, so if you missed any of this stream, of course it's going to be on demand here on Twitch for probably a week now, I think. They cut it down to that. It'll be on the Nightworks YouTube channel shortly after we wrap up here. I keep forgetting to mention that at the end, but yeah, over on YouTube at Nightworks, spelled the same way as here. Got a bunch of our stuff there. Although, if you want most of our Mega Man Mania streams, or Mega Man Mayhem, sorry, that's most of those are on the Mega Man Network, one word, on YouTube, because if you try to do it the other way, you're going to get a lot of Mega Man Battle Network stuff, let me tell you. And yeah, that'll be it for this edition of Nadia and David Ruin Video Games with Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. You can find more of my shenanigans on Twitter at LBD_NYTETRAYN, and also occasionally on poisonmushroom.org. I need to update there a little bit more. And themmnetwork.com, the Mega Man Network, where I'm looking to get the next edition of Legends of the Halcyon Era up soon. Let's see, Nadia, where can they find you?
Just on Actually Blood God, patreon.com/bloodgod.pod. You can listen to me there. I also have Charlene Dropouts, which is... shoot, did we move the feed? I think we moved the feed. I'll get back to you on that one. But I think it is Charlene Pod on Spotify or whatever. But the episodes are on Patreon anyway, so you should find them there. Yeah. That's all I got for now.
And of course, if you want us in print, besides doing some odds and ends for Nintendo Force magazine, you can also find us with the Mega Man Robot Master Field Guide Updated Edition and Mega Man X Maverick Hunter's Field Guide. And yeah, that's pretty much everything, yeah?
Yep.
Alright, so with that, we'd like to bid you adieu. Goodbye and good night. Bang!